What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Her subordinate's existence value would be a multiple of the separated value, indicating a significant increase in their strength. It seemed conceivable that she would evolve soon, even if she was not a divine race and had an existence value of almost 2 million without the need for armor. She, like Geld, had an earth attribute. She was highly compatible with gravity manipulation because she was an earth spirit beast, a semi-spiritual living form. In terms of specs alone, the current Kumara, her magic beasts combined, could be considered one of the 12 Guardian Lord's best. Regretfully, she lacked experience. She would still lose to Soe in a fight, and at this point, the only opponents she could possibly defeat were Gabble and Adalman. Kumara had a lot of potential, so some scary things were in store for her. She was still a young girl, so it was exciting to see how she would develop in the future. The others were Apito and Zegion. Only Apito went into the room, leaving Zegion outside the corridor. If they had both arrived at the same time, that would have been okay, but Zegion requested a private interview, so I complied. Apito handed me a box as soon as we sat down on the chairs facing each other.
This honey was just harvested, Sir Rimuru.
Oh, thank you.
I was so thrilled that my cheeks relaxed. This honey is incredibly tasty and useful as a panacea. I'd used this to subdue Milam with just one taste, as was generally known among my subordinates. The reason it was so famous was because of this. I tucked the box inside my pocket while laughing heartily over the memory. Even though I wouldn't accept a bribe, I made the choice to be kind to Apito. Here was Apito's current status. Name: Apito. EP: 775,537. Race: Star Wasp. Fair Chaos Spirit. Wind Spirit Wasp. Blessing: Zegion's Blessing. Title: Insect Queen. Skill: Unique Skill, Queen Worship. Resistance: Pain Nullification, Physical Attack Resistance, Natural Effects Resistance, Abnormal Condition Resistance, Mental Attack Resistance. She would be too strong for any regular adventurer to overcome. Apito has already overpowered the former demon lords in terms of strength. She seemed stronger than the pseudo-awakened Clayman, even if she was not as strong as the special S ranks as defined by our nation. Furthermore, 9 Insectar Majins have been formed by her Queen Worship skill, according to Apito. Even while they were still chrysalises, it appears that when they emerged as Majins, they would be extremely strong.
If so, we ought to rejoice.
I'm overjoyed. Please, give them a name.
Names, huh?
Yes.
I wanted to change the subject and tried not to respond directly. Giving a name could be risky on my part.
That won't provide any issues. I have gained complete control of the procedure, with no risk to you.
You gained it? That's how things worked with cherries, I suppose, so whatever. While I had hoped to prevent the need for naming 9 at once, that may not be the case.
Okay, how about Raichi, Reni, Risan, Rayon, Rego, Riroku, Renana, Rihachi, and Rekyu?
I am simply doing this, don't ask me why. Even though it was only a series of different numbers, I'm still hoping she'll accept it. When the Majins are born, I'll just give them a suitable name because I have no idea if they will be male or female.
Oh my! My children can already sense your love for them. Everyone is overjoyed.
They are?
Of course! My children and I share strong mental connections.
This was the power of Magus control in action, enabling Apito to command the offspring she created at a seemingly instantaneous pace. Furthermore, the links clearly indicated who was issuing commands and who was receiving them, in contrast to the more all-purpose thought communication. I thought that sounded cool, but Seal had been nagging at me a lot lately. Why did that happen?
How distressing. I just need permission to use skill alteration.
As you might have guessed, Seal was also eager to explore Apito's skills. However, I was certain that it could do so without my consent or Apito's. Since I was linked to someone by a soul corridor, I retained my authority as a leader. However, this was not an emergency of any kind. It was peaceful, and Dr. Seal was thoughtful enough to refrain from acting inappropriately without my permission. I was considered a more distant relation in comparison because Apito was also part of Zegion's family line. Given our weaker link, I believed obtaining her position would make things easier. I therefore asked the question, fully aware of the likely response.
By the way, Apito, what do you think about my readjusting the future direction of your skills if you're interested?
What do you mean?
It was mentioned to me that, your skill set appears to have room for improvement. You might transform into a commander type, controlling your clan in combat and guiding the insects as you currently do, or you could transform into a champion type, leading them into the battle yourself. All that separates the two is the inability to continue spawning new follower insects while acting as a champion. Conversely, becoming a champion would improve your physical prowess and focus your skills more on fighting.
I repeated everything Seal had informed me. That's when I understood why Seal didn't just do it. Apito had the option to select between two different options. If it wasn't her decision, her abilities would never reach their full potential.
That.
I continued.
And, of course, you have the choice to remain exactly who you are.
Apito asked right away.
If I went for champion type, does that mean I would never have children again?
Does it not?
Motherly Queen's birth insect ability would be removed, but her non-skill-based reproductive capacity would be kept. She was still capable of bearing children.
No, I believe you could have children in a typical manner. All you'll have to do is follow the conventional, unskilled method.
I see. Then there's nothing to be concerned about. As the queen of my army, I can command my children to create as many troops as I need because they have acquired the birth kinfolk skill.
Well, so Apito has already imparted some of her abilities to her kin? That being said,
So I'd like to be on the front lines.
she said just what I had expected her to say, and Seal leapt into action, eagerly anticipating this moment.
Apito's skill alteration is successful. Queen Possession, the ultimate skill, is evolving from her unique skill, Motherly Queen.
It ended in an instant. It seemed like Seal had done all of the analysis beforehand because the entire process went quite quickly.
Okay, no problem. It is now your responsibility to review everything and ensure that you can utilize it to the fullest.
Thought acceleration, magic perception, ultra intuition, insect domination, military command, ultra speed, lethal attack, spatial manipulation, and multi-layer barrier were among the powers included in Queen Possession's ultimate skill set. Since they were merely enhanced versions of her pre-existing abilities, I knew Apito would feel at ease using them. I gave her that advice even though I knew she would train them all without my having to tell her to.
I feel incredibly happy and grateful. I reaffirm my unwavering devotion to you, Sir Rimuru, with this overwhelming joy in my heart.
Apito got down on her knees. We ended our interview with me giving her the most fatherly nod I could think of. Thus, she departed, and Zegion entered. Choosing a wooden chair over my guest sofa, he sat down with humility. He was the strongest guy in the labyrinth, but he was also the most polite and thoughtful. I suppose his exoskeleton would scrape up the leather, so he'd made that move. How refined. However, I must admit that Zegion performed a fantastic job for us. Able to build a twin barrier with Diablo even before evolving, he possessed unimaginable power. Added to his already considerable advantage over the other 12 Guardian Lords was this new mutation. He had actually defeated Dino without even exposing his full potential, based on his examination of the Labyrinth archives. This guy is terrifying. To be honest, I'm relieved he's on our team.
Zegion, you gave us a fantastic performance. I'm not sure how things would have worked out if you hadn't woken up in time.
Please don't be silly. Sir Rimuru, you undoubtedly calculated the precise moment I would awaken, didn't you?
Yeah, I certainly did.
No, not really. Yes, I suspected Dino of wrongdoing, but I didn't anticipate he would act at the exact moment when our security was the lowest.
And for that reason, you woke me up right before things were going to get heated, is that right?
No, dude, I didn't anticipate any of it. Though, to be honest, I knew Velgrund was there. I just wasn't prepared for her to enter the scene in the manner that she did. I never would have considered sending a member of my inner circle to speak with the Emperor if I had known that. We've been playing catch-up since that decision, and the only reason we won the war was because of good fortune. But Zegion believed that everything was a part of my so-called brilliant plan, regardless of how I tried to explain it to him. I soon gave up trying to talk him out of it.
In any case, I appreciate you being there. You were very helpful.
No, there's still a long way to go. Without me coming into the picture at all, Sir Rimuru, I'm sure you could have defeated Dino with a single transdimensional strike. However, you gave me a stage on which to perform, therefore I responded to your call.
What exactly are you talking about? Trans-dimensional. How come? I'm not capable of that, man. Anyway, what kind of monster am I in his mind?
Sure, yeah. Well, perhaps I could have, yes.
I'm confident it would have been incredibly easy for you.
Zegion enthusiastically agreed with my hesitant response. I had the impression that he was looking at me more highly than just with deference. It was like having a private meeting with his god. With his compound eyes and all, I couldn't really tell, but it was simple to imagine. I composed myself and carried on with Zegion's interview. He explained to me how he saw the struggle against Dino, and although I had assumed Dino had escaped unscathed, that was not the case. Zegion put a terrifying curse on him that had the ability to take his life since he thought he would try to get away. Is that what Zegion could achieve at this point? Specifically, how did he evolve?
Name: Zegion. EP: 4,988,856. Race: Divine Insect. Greater Chaos Spirit. Water Spirit Insect. Blessing: Rimuru's Blessing. Title: Mist Lord. Magic: Water Spirit Magic. Skill: Ultimate Skill Illusion King Mephisto. Resistance: Physical Attack Nullification. Abnormal Condition Nullification. Mental Attack Nullification. Natural Effects Nullification. Holy Demonic Attack Resistance.
Oh my, I forced myself not to yell aloud. Seal gave me some stats that I could not have imagined. Zegion was clearly divine now, and I understood why. Just barely short of 5 million existence value, which is the second most shocking number after Benimaru's. Seal told me that he could also use the space element, even though his element was water. He possessed every resistance you could imagine for a half-spiritual life form. I could find no weak points in him, and he was proficient in all of them. An absolute power. The water droplets in the air seemed like they could be used by Zegion to make a temporary body for himself. I had given him a Magisteel, which evolved into Adamantite and eventually Crimson Steel. It was that magical metal that enabled him to perform that feat. Given that his exoskeleton was the form I created for him, I'm confident he adhered to it by default. If not, he could have demonstrated it long ago and evolved into a fully spiritual life form. It was evident that he loved his current body, and I am quite happy about that. In addition, his current standing strength was more than adequate given that he was outfitted for close quarters fighting. After all, if he became entirely spiritual and shed his physical body, that combat method would be ineffective. Wasn't his current shape about as complete as it needed to be?
Yes, precisely. The Zegion, created by my master and me, is our finest work of art. There is nothing to worry about because I let Voldora take the lead on the project, and used my expertise to help him in certain crucial areas.
Oh, what? I'm not sure I fully comprehended everything. As it was, Seal was boasting away and didn't seem to care. Zegion ruled over water, therefore wherever there was water, he possessed unmatched power. Zegion is unmatched in strength anytime water is around since he rules the element of water. Zegion can therefore exploit any location on this planet as a battlefield to his advantage because the atmosphere of the planet is similarly heavy with water.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Arijit Das, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Steven Madison, Home Like Drop, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Aditya Vyas, Hansel Ortega, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.